and we thank the Chihulis greatly for their vision and generosity. We have been sister organizations forever and ever, especially since you became the ED at Hilltop. And Kim and I can call you Kim because I've known you for so long. Kim and I have known each other for about 25 years, and we've worked at 2 other museums together, the Seattle Children's Museum, and then you were here for the founding years of the beginning of our organization. And I just want everybody to know that Kim is a force for good. She has a passion and a tenacity for youth success. And also you have made great contributions in other aspects in the community. So we are always honored to have you here on the floor. And I'm turning the mic over to you now. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Susan. And I know that we aren't any older, but it's over 30 years, Susan. It's 2025 now, just so you know. That's 25. It's actually 35 years. I think it was 1995 we started working together. So incredible. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Susan. Some of you that have seen me speak before, you know I'm usually extemporaneous about this, but today I have a little bit of a script. And so hang in there with me as I consult my paperwork. So thank you very much. Welcome here to the Museum of Glass for our first inaugural Hilltop Artists Awards. This is a new tradition for us, and we're gathering to celebrate partnership and the generosity of our community and the impact mentorship and creativity have on young people's lives. You've already heard, my name is Kimberly Keith. I'm the Executive Director of Hilltop Artists. I've been with Hilltop for 8.5 years now. We're especially honored to be here at the Museum of Glass. As Susan said, this is our longtime partner organization. We do tons of stuff together, and this is one of the biggest things that we do is our week-long residency here in the summer. We also do third Thursdays here at the museum. So if you're ever in Tacoma on third Thursdays from 5 to 8 p.m., please stop in. You can see our students here demonstrating. And then, of course, this week, we are here making our centerpieces for our Better Futures Luncheon, which is coming up on October 7th. This residency is one of the most challenging, creative, and fun opportunities our students have all year. And so I appreciate them. And why don't we just give them a little round of applause right now? We'll give them a bigger one later. But thank you, students. This is just one aspect of our organization, though, our students and our public experiences. And before we dive into the gratitude and the awards section, I'm just going to do a little overview of Hilltop Artists, because maybe, I hope, some of you are brand new to us today. I'm going to assume this is the clicker for the slides. That makes sense. So I'm going to start at the beginning. Our story started in 1994 here in Tacoma, where a group of advocates and educators got together, and with the help of the gallerist Kathy Kaparik and the artist Dale Chihuly, started a program called Hilltop Artists in Residence. And so in the beginning, there were 20 kids, and then 3 of Dale's famous artist friends, Italo Skanga, Algernon Miller, and Charlie Perriott, who came and did their work with our students, our young people, as assistants. And so if you can imagine, 1994, 31 years ago, 20 students and adult artists working. Flash forward to 2025, and we have the artists that you saw here earlier making their own art. We started with Snapple bottles, reheating them, and then adding decals and paint. And then I think a year later, perhaps, a furnace was added. And at the time, there was a classroom attached to what was becoming a professional hot shop. And so students, and most of our students were at a loose end, so to speak. And if you were here in Tacoma in the 90s, as I was, we had, issues with gangs and with meth and things going on in our community. So we needed places for kids to go, to be kids and to be creative. And so if you were there, you needed to be doing something to get yourself to a better future. And so that was getting GED credits and attainment. So there was a classroom, and that was the deal. It was no class, no glass. And that was a phrase coined by our own Greg Piercy over here, who we're going to be learning a little bit more about, who's in that picture. And so that's how Hilltop Artists started. It was working with young people that needed to get GED credits and that were struggling a bit, and then they could learn to do this incredible thing. Now, we have multiple programs. We have daytime electives, we have after-school programming, we have summer programming, we have Arts Connect, a program with educated young women. And it's about glass arts, but it's also about working with young people. It's very much, we are a youth development organization that uses a glass as a means of engaging young people to do the work. And we do flame working, we do fused glass, we do hot glass. And one piece of our secret sauce is that 9 of our 10 instructors are graduates of our program. They are alums. And so they knew what it felt like to be mentored, and now they are fantastic mentors. These are some of the students that you've been seeing on the floor today at our different programs. I should probably back up a second and say that we start with 12 years old. 12 years old is the youngest you can be in our program. And then we work with alumni up to 26. That is for print purposes. We work with them forever. We do. You don't turn 26 and we say, get out of Hilltop Artists. No, we keep them forever. And it is the very, very special sauce. As I mentioned, Arts Connect is a program where we work with court-involved young women. As Susan said earlier, I started here at the Museum of Glass the year before the museum opened, 2001. I started the Raymond Hall Women's Project, which was later taken to Hilltop Artists and renamed Arts Connect. So 8 years ago when I applied for my job, I came in and I was like, hey, I'm here to get my job back. Thank you very much. Because I created that program, and it's one that's near and dear to my heart still. And that's Sasha, who is our Arts Connect manager, but now she is our outreach director. Pretty exciting. Some of the other things that we do, yes, clap for Sasha. One thing that I think is particularly exciting is Biot, France is our sister city because it is considered the glass city of France. And so Antoine Pierini came here years ago, and one of the sister city folks started talking to Kate Ward, who was Lisa Monet's sister, and they were talking, wouldn't it be great if we did an exchange? And so the guy in the pink shirt up there, that's actually the mayor of Biot. He's still the mayor of Biot, and he was in Tacoma last month, and I got to meet him. But what sprang out of that conversation 13 years ago was the Biot Ambassadors Program. And so each year we send at least one student, if not 2 students, to Biot to work with Antoine for 2 to 3 weeks. Our students this year, I think they're getting back today. Victor and Kale have been over there for a couple weeks, and this picture is from last year. This was Ethan and Regan, and it's a really great opportunity. We fundraise for that, and so the students don't have to pay. We help them get a passport if they need it, and they get to have this opportunity of traveling internationally, working with different glassmakers over in France, and staying with Antoine and his family. It's pretty awesome. Our residency is also one of the highlights of our year. Our students talk a lot about how working with Gabe and Ben and Sarah and the team here at the Museum of Glass really ups their game, teaches them a lot of new skills, and it's one of their the highlights of their year. And so we really do appreciate the team here and the Museum of Glass for letting us do this every summer. The young man that's sitting at the bench in that picture, that is Victor. He is one of our BIOD ambassadors right now. And so he has been in France for the last couple of weeks. That's why he's not here today. Another nifty factoid about Victor is that he is a second-generation Hilltop artist. His mom and his aunt were in the program in the 90s, and we are very happy to have Victor here today. We send students to Expanding Horizons in upstate New York at the Corning Museum. Students get to choose an instructor that they like to work with, and the instructor and the student get to go to Corning for a week and explore their museums, work in their hot shops, do lots of things. Once again, this is an opportunity that doesn't cost our students anything. And I'll also say, because I didn't say it earlier, that all of the students in our program get to access our program for free. There's no tuition charges. Everybody gets to learn and stay in the program as long as they like. And that is a very, very incredible thing. We are a nonprofit organization that works in partnership with the school district. And that's one of the amazing things about us. Each year we take about 30 students to Pilchuck Glass School up in Stanwood for 3 days. Pilchuck was also co-founded by Dale Chihuly. It is a world-famous glass school, and professional and emerging artists go there for classes each year. And it is really special for our students to get to go up there at the end of their season of workshops. The instructors that come from all over the world, they stay there for an extra week so that they can teach our students. And that's Sam Drumgoole in that picture. And that was last year's residency. You probably saw Karina down on the floor making some glass today. And that's her in the cold shop up at Pilchuck. And the cold shop is like after the glass comes out of the annealer and you want to do something to the surface of the glass or the bottom of the glass, you work in the cold shop using grinders and different tools. And I love this picture. That's why I included it. So focused. And there's Grandma. Where'd you go, Grandma? I just saw you. There you are. Working with Kim Thomas in the flame shop up at Pilchuck. And so it's really transformative. And we also offer 2 scholarships in the summer for students or staff or volunteers to go to Pilchuck. And so we have a very close relationship with them as well. Students made neon trees and put up a little show called Glow Together, Grow Together with that. This was, I think, 2 years ago at Pilchuck. Class taught by our own Jacob Wilcox, alumni of our program and instructor extraordinaire. And Jacob is actually helping us right now to incorporate neon into our ongoing program. So he's helping to pick out the tools and the equipment and everything that we will need to teach neon. And so super exciting. In 2020, we were Washington's Organization of the Year. I'll say that we got that in February, and then the world shut down in March, and we didn't have anything to do with that. Okay? That was not about us. But it was a very interesting year to get this incredible accolade because, of course, we were all shut in, but still, we were the best, and this is us being goofy at the governor's mansion. This is, I don't know why that box is still in there. I did a bad job on that slide, but this is a photo of Better Together, which is a collective of African American artists from around the country. and this is photos at Pilchuck. They have had Hilltop Artists assistants and students up there for the last, I think, 3 years. And that's been a really incredible program. Hilltop Artists is about working with diverse young people in our diverse community of Hilltop and beyond in Tacoma. And as you can all probably imagine, the origins of the studio glass movement coming from Murano, which it was like a secret society that were making glass, and mostly male and mostly white people. And so diversifying the field and diversifying who can access this art is really a central part of what we do at Hilltop Artists. And this is like another example of some really good diverse programming happening with us and Pilchuck and Museum of Glass, because Better Together's been here. That's Cedric Mitchell from Better Together working with our students. Better Together is part of Crafting the Future, and Crafting the Future provides scholarships for kids to go to different craft schools across the country. This is some of our students that got to go to the Appalachian Center for Craft, and they actually got to learn other crafts. Some of them did metalworking, some did woodworking. Some got to meet a snake, and I was very proud to see Haley in this picture. I would touch a snake, but I know lots of people that wouldn't. That is Corey Pemberton. He is the founder-director of Crafting the Future and Better Together. And last fall, he kicked off a new program here at our hot shop called Homeschool, where he was in residence with us for 2 weeks and taught the students how to make different types of tableware. And then they had a big dinner together, and they put like 6 tables together, and everybody made their own utensils and plates and bowls and had a wonderful meal, and Luis barbecued, and it was just a really fantastic residency. You might not be able to actually recognize, but Corey is working on an Encalmo bowl there. This bowl is huge, and it is beautiful. And we did make the decision recently to put that in our auction at our luncheon this year. And so if you can come to the luncheon, you can bid on it. But even if you don't come to the luncheon, you can bid on it online if you're interested in purchasing that bowl. You might have to compete against me, but it goes that way. We have annual glass sales at Hilltop Artists, the first Saturday in December and the first Saturday in May. And our students do demonstrations while we have the sales. You can purchase jewelry that our flame working students have made the beads for. You can purchase hot glass, sculpture, and then you can also watch a demo. Now, we also do public programming occasionally. One public program is coming up this Tuesday. It's called Arts Night Out. It's going to be from 4 to 7 at our studio at Hilltop Heritage Middle School. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be a DJ. There's going to be T-shirt making. There's going to be lots of fun things. And everybody's invited, and it's all free. And so if you're around, come join us on Tuesday afternoon. And if you miss that, then we're going to have Open Studio Day, I believe, on October 11th. Once again, open to the public. And then we're going to have Refract Day in October 19th. So check our website and our events page for some of the stuff that we're doing where we're open to the public, and you can come see our students make things again. This is an early photo of Dale Chihuly with some of our students who went on to be quite famous because they either worked for us or they were on Blown Away. And so all the way on the left, Trenton Kiocho, he was in season 3 of Blown Away. If you don't know Blown Away, it's a reality glassblowing show on Netflix. Jason McDonald, who's 3 in from the right, was on season 2 of Blown Away. And then Edgar Valentine's not in the photo, but he was in season 1. And so I just point that out, not just to share how proud I am of those 3 young people, but asking you to think of all the thousands of glass blowers across the world who applied to be on that show, because it was literally thousands. And for 3 of them to have been from our humble Hilltop Artists program here in Tacoma and all be people of color that were on that show, that is significant. And so that's the other reason why I'm bigging them up in this picture. And then we also have in the tank top in the front towards the left, that's Miss Sam. And I think she's in this room right now. She is one of our daytime teachers and the hot shop manager at Hilltop Heritage. Next to Miss Sam in the green t-shirt, that is Jessica Hogan. And Jessica Hogan is our program director. And I don't want to out her too much, but she did have a 20th work anniversary recently. Yes. So, yeah, we make them and then we keep them. We just keep them all. We have a program called In Residence where we invite guest artists to come and work with our students. This photo has in the center, that's Eriko Kobayashi, who was just with us in May. And we had a wonderful residency with her. This is Jason Christian. And he is actually making one of those incredible dragons in that picture at our hot shop. And that's what he's known for, one of the things he's known for, and Reticello umbrellas. And then Jenny and Sabrina are in that picture with us there. And so many people in this room right now. Give yourselves a hand. Yeah. And Rich Royal was just with us in January and had a blast with our students. And so hopefully he will come back again and make some of that enormous work. So that is my spiel about Hilltop Artists and who we are. And then the next thing is to go into talking about the Better Futures luncheon. Now, I am going to give Katie the clicker because, like I said earlier, part of this is scripted and I'm going to need to read something. And so I'm getting to this. Okay, I think I mentioned some of our upcoming events, but I will mention them again. Arts Night Out coming up this Tuesday. Our residency at Pilchuck is going to be September 18th to the 20th. The Better Futures Luncheon is October 7th. Please go on the website, order your tickets today. Our Open Studio Tour will be October 11th. Refract demo is going to be here at the Museum of Glass, I believe, on October 19th. And then we're going to be naming the G-Man Furnace for Greg Owen in November. Well, we don't know the date yet, but you'll all be invited to that. And then the Winter Glass Sale will be on December 6th. And so we invite you to join us at any and all of those activities because I know you probably don't have enough glass pumpkins, right? And so you can come get some more. I swear I don't know what people do with those things. And I say that knowing that I have 9, you know, and they're great because you can use them for Halloween, you can use them for Thanksgiving, for the Rich Harvest Fall Festival. And so, yes, you can't have too many pumpkins. Another thing about Hilltop Artists is nothing happens in isolation for us. Everything that we do is powered by relationships. And today we're recognizing those partners and volunteers and Hilltop family members that make it happen. First, I would like to thank our incredible volunteers, those past and present volunteers that have made everything happen. Thank you for showing up with your hands and your hearts to really support our students in our programs. I want to thank the luncheon table captains and our board of trustees. Thank you for opening your networks and extending the reach of our mission out into the community through your connections. Thank you. We have partners in education. I had mentioned earlier that we operate in partnership with the Tacoma Public Schools. So I'd like to thank Superintendent Josh Garcia, CTE and Innovative Schools Director Adam Koulas, and our school partners. So at Hilltop Heritage, we have Mr. Jason Maurer. At Silas High School, we have Miss Kathy Chase. And then we have Principal Bernadette Ray at Silas and Principal Dave Kellogg, who is just starting right now at Hilltop Heritage. We also want to extend thanks to Tacoma Creates, which is a cultural access tax here in Tacoma that helps to support our organization. Little FYI about Tacoma Creates, when it passed in 2018 and it had its first year of funders, there were 48 funded organizations. This last year, there were 80. So that means that small community groups are getting together and forming partnerships. And there's a lot more art going on in our community. Now, I love all of you students and staff, especially those over there that are near the water. And if one of you could bring me a drink, I would appreciate it. My throat's getting a little parched. Yeah, I was pointing at you, Luis. That's you, the one I love. Okay, we've already mentioned that Pilchuck Glass School and the Museum of Glass and Crafting the Future are our good organizational friends. I'll just say their names again and give them a thank you. I want to give a shout out to the Puget Sound Taxpayer Accountability Account and the Puyallup Tribe of Indians, because they both provide support to let us expand our access for young people. That Puget Sound Taxpayer Account, we got $175,000 from them last year. That's incredible. What that is funding, thank you. Yes, we can give them a round of applause. Thank you. Yeah, now it's kind of an emergency that I need that. Thank you very much. So that funding went to purchase new equipment for Hilltop Artists. And so when you come for a visit and see our studio, you can see our new Wazer and our oxygenator, and you can see that all of our outlets work. And we have a new fuse panel and just so many incredible things that we had the fortune of doing this year. And then the Puyallup Tribe has supported our Arts Connect program and our after-school program. I went too long without the water, so bear with me. We want to thank our business partners and event partners, Site Crafting, Virginia Mason, Franciscan Health, Commencement Bank, Multicare, and TCC, Tacoma Community College. We want to thank our collaborators, Tacoma Public Libraries, Communities for a Healthy Bay, and Pierce County Juvenile Court. Thank you for lifting up our young people. We want to thank the early advocates and supporters. Without your foundational support, we wouldn't be here today. There are some people that started volunteering with us in '94 and that are still here. Thank you, thank you. We want to thank our transformative donors. You really underpin the work that we do and allow us to actually get paid for this work, which is incredible. You know, I was saying earlier that mine isn't the perfect job, but it's the perfect job for me. And I can hardly believe that I get paid to do this. I can hardly believe that my throat is like so scratchy right now that I'm crying. I'm literally, tears are coming out of my eyes. Okay, now I want to take a moment to thank 3 of our trustees who are completing their board service terms. Sid Bersanti, I saw you in here. Doug Page, who couldn't be with us today, and Forrest Greek, who couldn't be with us today. So for more than 8 years, Sid Bersanti has led Hilltop Artists Board with vision, care, and steady guidance. A retired healthcare executive and registered nurse, Sid brought decades of leadership and experience from CHI Franciscan Health to strengthen our board, to champion our staff and well-being, and guide policy development. Her dedication has helped ensure Hilltop Artists remain strong, supported, and ready for the future. We're going to give you a Hilltop block, and we're going to give you an opportunity to say a few words if you'd like. If not, that's fine. We're thanking Sid. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Oh, I got paper in my hand. I got glasses on. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sid. And Sid is leaving our board in the capable hands of Carol Wolf, who is right here. So we have our incoming president, and we're gonna be fine. Doug Page currently works at Greater Tacoma Community Foundation, and he's shown up giving us guidance and experience since 2015, and we really appreciate his help with our fundraising and his advice over the years. Forrest Greek has supported our educational work. He works for the school district, and he has been incredible. And I think he's been on the board since, I want to say, 2016. And so these are long-term members. We couldn't do this work without our trustees. The trustees that were on the board during COVID, I made an executive decision that they couldn't leave the board until after the pandemic. So we had folks that stayed a little bit longer than their term limits, and I really appreciate that. It's awesome. Okay. I don't know what's happening, Katie. Okay, so now we're getting to the part of the program that I know everybody has come to hear about. The Greg Awards. The Greg Awards honor two beloved educators whose legacies continue to shape Hilltop Artists today. These awards recognize individuals in our community who embody the compassion, creativity, and mentorship of Greg Piercy and Greg Owen. Typically, we've honored two special individuals during the Better Futures Luncheon with these awards, but this year we're changing it up, and we're going to continue to have a special event for these awards and for our volunteers from today and into the future. And so thank you very much. First up, we're going to have the Greg Piercy Award. The Piercy Award honors mentorship, kindness, and the quiet power of showing up for young people, just as Greg did and continues to do. This award, established in 2014, is named for longtime teacher and mentor Greg Piercy, who retired in 2021. Yep. Give it up. He retired in 2021 after more than 26 years of service and support to over 6,000 students. This award honors Greg's lasting legacy and is presented to an outstanding staff member, alum, or volunteer who demonstrates exceptional dedication to Hilltop Artists. It includes the Greg Piercy Scholarship, which supports educational and training expenses for the recipient. We're proud to recognize teaching artist and production manager and water bringer, Luis Sanchez. Right on, right on. Luis is a mentor, a role model, and a foundational presence for so many of our students. Thank you for your steadfast care, your patience, and your belief in the next generation. I'm going to ask Greg Piercy to say a few words, but before I do, I want you to notice the special Wu-Tang lettering right there, just for you. Okay, Mr. Greg.
This is great, Luis. Congratulations. He's been with the program quite a long time now. How many years? 14 years. 14 years, and with a lot of other students too that had started with the program. He's another one that has now basically run in Hilltop, and so congratulations again on the award, and keep up the great work, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes. Luis is one of our commission managers, and then he also is one of our team production instructors. And he's one of the best flame workers I've ever seen. He's incredible. So now we have the other of the Greg Awards. We have the Greg Owen Award, which was established in 2021. And it commemorates the life and spirit of Greg Owen, who was a cherished MC here at the Museum of Glass. He was a teacher, and he was a team member who was known for his warmth, empathy, and encouragement of other people. Many of you might remember Greg as the MC of our luncheon, or from his work at the Hot Shop Heroes program here at the Museum of Glass. This award can be given to any member of the Hilltop Artists family and includes a scholarship that reflects Greg's belief in balance and enrichment. It can be used to explore a passion, travel, or try something new. We're especially grateful to have members of the Piercy and Owen families here with us today. Your legacies grow daily through our work and in every student that finds their spark with us. Please join me here on the Hot Shop floor for a presentation. Well, we're not going to do that. I'm just going to do the presentation today because I thought it would be a hassle. But thank you, Owen family, for being here. This Greg Owen Award honors vision, leadership, and lasting impact on our organization and its future. We're honored to present it to volunteer artist and veteran Donna Williamson. Donna has brought fierce... Yeah, there we go. All right. Donna has brought fierce dedication and a deep love for community to every role she's held. Her commitment to youth, her service to others, and her artistry have supported our programs and uplifted our students. We're honored to recognize you today. I will also say that she was a beloved member of the Hot Shop Heroes program here at the Museum of Glass, and that we have a beautiful medallion from Greg Owen that is on the Greg Owen Award. So thank you for being with us and being who you are, and would you like to share a few words?
I do. Just real quickly, I didn't know who Greg Owens was, because unfortunately he passed. He passed away before I ever started the program. But I know the one thing I did notice is I tried to figure out who this person was I was getting an award for, and everybody did a pause, just a thoughtful, heartfelt pause before they talked about who Greg was, and we've all felt that pause in our life, and the one thing that this program gave me, like she said, I started with Hot Shop Heroes. I was standing in front of that furnace, terrified of the world and everything around me, and now I see these kids in this program, and everything seems like it's out of control, and hope feels like it's sort of something you tuck away for a rainy day. And truly, I really feel that connection here, and I hope I'll get to continue just being that fly on the wall that nobody really knows who I am, and I pop in and I pop out, and I'm not from France. For you guys, some of the kids thought I was from France. I'm from Lakewood, and this is a huge honor, and Hot Shop Heroes brought me here, and Hilltop brought me back. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Donna has done a little bit of everything. She's helped with glass. She helped make some murals at Arts Night Out, and she comes in and assists the teachers sometimes, and so she's just a really great, very useful, very talented member of our Hilltop family. And so we're really glad to give her the Greg Owen Award. Next, we'd like to offer a moment of special recognition to Rob Ross. He's a longtime volunteer whose quiet generosity has meant so much to our staff and our students. Rob's wife, Jill, also a beloved volunteer, passed away this year. Her spirit and care continue to echo throughout our studios. Rob, we're so grateful for your continued presence and everything you've given to this community. We are always here for you, and thank you. Thank you for being the great person that you are. Rob would love to say a few words, but he doesn't feel that he can, and we appreciate that. I just want to say, when I started here 8 years ago and we were doing our gallery sales and our sales, Jill and Rob were always here, and at the luncheon, always here, and they gave everybody a smile and helped them buy their pumpkins and other things. Or Rob's favorite, the snow people and the winter things. But yes, they were always a smiling, supportive presence. And Jill also was helpful behind the scenes, helping us to review our employee handbook and to help us with different HR aspects of our business. And we had recognized Sid Bersanti earlier as our outgoing chair. And Jill, I believe, was brought to us through a connection with Sid because they work together. And so once again, the Hilltop community is really connected, and it's a very small world sometimes. Next, we're going to have a supporter spotlight on the Chihuly family, as well as the Chihuly Studio, Chihuly Garden and Glass, and the Dale and Leslie Chihuly Foundation. We are proud to shine a light on the Chihuly extended universe. The studio where all of that incredible artwork comes from, the Garden and Glass wonderful display up in Seattle, and then the foundation that supports us. The Chihuly Foundation is one of our biggest supporters and has been from the beginning of time. Now the foundation supports us, which helps with our general operating. But as I was telling Eric recently, the annealer at Silas had been the original annealer that Dale donated in 1994. And it had been refurbished and cobbled together for, 30 years. And we finally, with the funding from the PSTAA account, bought a new annealer over at Silas this year. But we're hanging on to the old one. And I have a vision for that to be a display case and an archival piece for our next expansion, TBD. But their funding and their vision and their decades of support have helped us bring art and opportunity into the hands of generations of young artists. I want to thank Dale and Leslie for their belief in our students and for inspiring our artists. And I want to thank Eric Aguino for being here today to accept this award on behalf of Chihuly Everything. Eric is Chihuly and manages just about everything. And he has been a very good friend of Hilltop Artists since before my time. And so, would you like to say a few words?
Dr. Kim has said almost everything there is to be said about the program. I want to thank everybody for staying after the demo and watching the students to hear about the program. It's with extreme honor and gratitude on behalf of Dale and Leslie, Chihuly Studio, Dale and Leslie, Chihuly Family Foundation to accept this. I can't wait to show it to them later this week or as soon as I can see them. It's a little emotional watching this, and I encourage everybody here, if you haven't already gone, even if you have, to come again to the luncheon in October, because that is even more emotional when you get to hear from the students. You get to see the volume of the crowd that now makes up that room. I feel like the first luncheon was 10, 12, 15 tables. It's now 50 tables, 500 people attending. I can tell you from personal experience, pumpkins make great gifts to your host and hostess at different events that you go to. Education was always paramount to Viola, Dale's mother. It's through continued education that Dale grew as an individual and an artist. He grew up just a few miles from here, North 33rd and Mason, for those of you that know the area. So it was really no surprise that when his friend Kathy Kaparik had approached him about the possibility of helping the youth in his community, Dale went in with open arms and brought in some friends, as Dr. Kim had said, to make that all a reality. Continued education, supporting the arts is paramount to what Dale and Leslie and the studio stand for. It's really quite humbling to watch the kids out here on the floor, and it's amazing to remember that as young as 12, they're allowed to play with 2,000-degree glass. I think it's important to acknowledge the work that Dr. Kim and the team at Hilltop do. It is quintessential proof the power of arts and community support for our youth and the difference that it can make. Dale and Leslie send their love, their gratitude, their thanks, and we all wish you the best in continued growth. I look forward to seeing some familiar faces in October at the luncheon, and we're so proud of what you have done. And when I mentioned the quintessential proof, I think it's also evident in the fact of the number of alumni that you have that come back to participate and continue passing that on. So thank you to all of you. Greg, you were there at the beginning. You remember saving our Snapple bottles and sending them over for the kids. And who could have thought, 3 decades later, you would now be supporting 700 students on an annual basis, tuition-free, 2 hot shops within the school district, and it is just absolutely amazing. So thank you for this, and we love you all, and we can't wait to see more.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Eric has been there since the beginning. He's seen it evolving as well, and so thank you very much. So today is kicking off the Better Futures season celebration party. We're going to be partying until October 7th. So we have a couple of announcements. We're just going to let you know that our keynote speaker is going to be Manny Kowalling. He's the executive director of Inspire WA. And Katie and I have been doing quite a bit of advocacy with Manny down in Olympia and with a lot of our electeds. And he has a lot of really great things to share about why the arts and culture are so important to our community and how we can all get involved in sustaining them. And so it'll be really great to hear from him. We're also going to spotlight 2 of our students, Corey, who I think is here today, and Priscilla. They're going to be telling their stories. And then it is like our biggest, most visible fundraiser of the year. We hope to raise $185,000 at that event. And so any and all of you that would like to join us and help to contribute to the success of that event, that would be appreciated. And once again, I'd like to thank our table captains and our sponsors for their support. And I'd like to thank everybody that attends the luncheon as well. Luncheon. I don't know what else we. Oh, the other thing I would say is that these centerpieces that our students are making are the ones that are going to be at the luncheon. They'll be for sale at the luncheon and then also online the week before the luncheon. I think the auction will go live online if you'd like to purchase any of those. And before I close here, I'd just like to say before our kids return to the hot shop, and yeah, I said kids, because even the staff, you're kids too. You're younger than me. But I want to recognize you for all that you do for Hilltop Artists, your contributions, your incredible creativity and skill, your tenacity. You keep showing up day after day, learning new things, coming here and showing that off at the Museum of Glass, and you are incredible. You're really incredible. And you help me to do my job well. My office is in the corner of the hot shop, as you know, so I can look out and I can watch you making art, and I can come have a conversation with you, and that inspires me to write those grants and to take those meetings with politicians and to keep this organization going. It's all about you guys, and I know that it might not seem like we thank you a lot, but it's always in our heart, whether we come out to the hot shop floor or not, and so thank you. Thank you, Ethan, Julian, Landon, Katie, Oliver, and Karina. That's all the U's up there. Thank you. Okay, right on. And I want to thank the staff that are here. We have quite a few alumni staff in the room right now. We got Maishan, we got Zane, we got Doug, we got Miss Sam, we got Jess somewhere, we got Kenzie, who actually works here at the Museum of Glass as the MC. We got Sasha and Rose and Louise and Katie. I get to work with some of the most incredible. Oh, Donna. Donna is our finance manager. And I've had the pleasure of knowing Donna since I was 17. And so if you think I can get away with anything at work, you're wrong. Doesn't matter whether I'm the executive director or not. But as I was saying, it is my pleasure to work with one of the most incredible staff teams anywhere. It's a team of unicorns. Everybody is so incredible with what they do, so professional, so on task, so focused. It's really incredible. And as we said about Mr. Gregg, he worked there for 26 years. Jess had a 20th work anniversary. We have people that have had 12th, 15th work anniversaries. I've been there for 8 years. It's one of those places that you come to. Donna is actually really going to retire this year. She's faked me out the last 4 years, but this year she's really going to retire. Next year, this fiscal year, you're going to retire after 18 years with us. And so that longevity tells a story about what a wonderful place Hilltop Artists is. And I just want to say thank you again to everybody that's part of the Hilltop family, and thanks everyone for being here today. Right on. Yeah, you guys can come back and have the floor again. You're going to do some more work. I'll end with a little, I'll have many endings, but a little factoid. So I started here at the Museum of Glass in 2001. Been working with Hilltop Artists for 8 years. I took my first glass blowing class last September. I finally learned it. I can tell you the name of all these tools and how all this stuff works and what's what, but that was the first time I'd actually been in front of the furnace trying to gather, and I realized I didn't know anything. I did not know anything. I was the most remedial of the remedial beginner students. It was a humbling experience, and I have come back more appreciative and more understanding and more committed to my work than before I went there. So I'm not, I can admit that I was bad. In a week, I made 1 cup that actually can hold water, and I made 1 float that has color in it. Everything else is kind of like, wah, wah. But I've been told I could get lessons somewhere. And it wasn't despite, Jacob was one of my teachers, and he was a great teacher. I just was like a random student. Okay, thank you. The students are going to come back and make some more wonderful things.